Okay, people, if you're not vigilant and concerned now, then you never will be. The U.S. is collapsing. Gates puts out a message today that he wants to beef up by the 25th of December the National Guards throughout the United States. Gates, you're a fool. That will be an act of tyranny against the people, the citizens of the United States. I'm not going to try to do this with rhetoric. I'm going to tell you like it is. He's beefing up the National Guard because these are the people that can interfere with your lives. He cannot legally turn the military against its own people, but he can use the National Guard to suppress your movement, your freedoms, control the people. And I'm going to tell you now, Governor Christ, you're my governor. You better not bend in. You better not suppress. You better not call up the National Guard without reason. And that includes a training exercise. I will not accept any suppression of my speech or my movement. That is an act of tyranny, which, by the way, folks, you are protected under the Second Amendment. The reason you're allowed to have arms is to protect yourself against tyranny. And tyranny can be your federal government. They are setting this thing up for a dictatorship. If he wasn't, then he would not be concerned about beefing up the National Guard before the 25th of December. And Bush, you selected that idiot. You better be vigilant, folks. This is the beginning of the end. And this is a warning. This is a warning to you, Gates. There are at least 10 million people in this country that think like me. You will end up causing the largest ever guerrilla civil war that you will ever have seen in your life. This country, if just a few million of us refuse your tyranny, will cause you to go down in defeat. And I want to ask you some questions. Why are you concerned about the National Guard all of a sudden? Protecting America's borders. Are you a fool? That's why we have the Coast Guard. What, you think I'm an idiot? The only reason that could possibly be that you're concerned about the National Guards of each state, or the reserves, is because you and Obama have a plan to suppress the folks. It's not your job to protect the borders. That's what the military's for. The National Guard is not even set up for that. The National Guard is set up to control people. Roadblocks. You are going to rip this country apart because people are not going to put up with it. So get it out of your head now. You need to wipe that disgusting look on your face, Gates. Traitor. You fool. Look, folks. This is unacceptable. You know, read into what he's doing. Why is all of a sudden is a concern that that the National Guard be equipped better, beefed up? Look, the National Guards belong to each governor of the United States as far as calling them to active duty or duty there. They can belong to the federal government when the federal government decides they need the National Guard and to send them over to war and stuff like that. But Gates ain't talking about anything about sending them over to do the war. Gates is concerned about the domestic side of the house. Why are you concerned about that, Gates? When was the last time you and Obama talked? You do that. You, Governor Christ, You call out the National Guard, even for a training exercise, and you try to suppress my speech, my movement, then we know it's over. And America, United States, you need to wake up. You need to get your heads out of your butt now and listen to what that guy said. Yeah, the news media putting it out on a little ticker. No, that is dangerous. That is foolhardy. You will rip this nation apart. Worse than it's being ripped now. You leave your hands, take your hands off of the National Guard. And folks, I'm telling you now, don't join the National Guard. Do not join the National Guard. Those people are going to have you putting bullets into your own brothers and sisters. Do not join the National Guard. Defund these idiots now. Listen, the government is broke. Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid have failed. Bush has failed. Franks has failed. You have a failed government, folks. They don't know what they're doing. Finally, a few of them are admitting it. But we, the citizens, can clean this mess up by, first of all, defunding them. Gates, you're a fool for even saying that. You are a fool for even saying that. You showed your colors. And folks, keep in mind, Obama wants to keep Gates on now. Gates is the Secretary of Defense. You just don't know how powerful he is. Extremely. Extremely powerful. Wake up, America. You have a Second Amendment right to bear arms, and on the bottom sentence, I think it is the bottom last sentence in that paragraph, states that you are allowed to be armed to protect the citizens against tyranny, and that includes your current government or future government when they start suppressing you. They are no match for we, the American people, the ones of us that are armed. They are no match. And by God, it's coming to that. You ask yourself, why is Gates, he's got 2 wars going on. He's got troops all over useless places like Korea. You ask yourself, if you want to, just ask yourself, why is Gates concerned about doing something and checking things out about our National Guard before the 25th of December? Suppression, folks. Dictatorship. Yet to be defined, whatever this guy is. Obama. Gates, leave your security people behind. I'm a disabled veteran, and I'll still take you on. I'll slap the snot out of you. You better watch it. And folks, you better be vigilant. You better start paying attention to what's going on. Quit worrying about your silly selves. You're going to have to go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Feeding yourself survival water. And then this nation can be rebuilt. Obama's not going to rebuild this nation. Obama is going to drag this place into the gutter worse than it already is. And it's already in the gutter because of environmentalists, gays, abortion rights people. Our damn national agenda is abortion rights and gay marriage. Meanwhile, the U.S. is collapsing. Get off your duffs, people. Your government has failed you. Pelosi has failed you. Reid is an idiot. Gates, I'm not afraid of you. I will die for what I believe in. Jerk. Keep your hands off the National Guard. And any governor that calls its National Guard up under that guy for an exercise is a fool. And you know who's going to fit the bill for that? The same people that they're going to suppress. You, the American citizen, the U.S. citizen. God bless America.